If people basically distrust each other, you can have a self-fulfilling prophecy. Fears can become the cause of conflict. We're all swamped with information, and what information we pay attention to depends upon credibility, and credibility depends on trust. So the ability to establish trust, to have a sense that this is information which is not skewed for ideological reasons, or which is not a form of propaganda, but is an effort to try to get a meeting of minds freed of that kind of ideology, is something that engenders trust. And I think that's one of the things that's made the Institute effective. The early 80s were a tense period. There was some people called it the Second Cold War, or the Little Cold War. There was a nuclear freeze movement at home and in Europe, and the feeling that the Soviets were going to get tougher and tougher. And there was generally a fair amount of pessimism and worry. And that was the climate in which John Rose tried to pull together some people to have serious conversations about how we could avoid some of the worst case outcomes, and how we could have real conversations with Soviets about improving that situation. John had a way of getting people to talk to each other and to play down some of the worst of their ideological disputes and differences. And that atmosphere sort of permeated the meetings of the Institute. Like the world, the Institute has broadened out. It's no longer EastWest in the old sense of the term, but it's really almost global in terms of dealing with all the vast sets of problems that face us. The Institute is on the cutting edge again of an issue like cybersecurity. I think it's an indication of successful adaptation. This is something which is as important to us today as the nuclear revolution was a half century ago, but in which we are probably at the same stage today as the world was in 1950 in terms of thinking about nuclear. That's why I'm looking forward to participating in the cyber conference in London in June.